Branding is overrated and it's not going to help you grow your business. And for most businesses, focusing too much on building a brand is a complete waste of time. And in this video, I'm going to explain why that's the case and what you should be doing instead. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying having a unique brand identity is not important. Of course, you need to have a brand identity. But using branding as your only strategy to stand out in the market is not enough. It's super expensive to build a brand, and it's not as effective as you might think. And in this video, I'm gonna prove it to you. So what is the actual definition of branding? Okay, for those of you who don't know, branding is the process of creating a unique identity for a company, product, or service to make it recognizable and different from competitors. It's all about standing out in a market full of options. How can you be different? Now, the problem that most entrepreneurs and business owners fall into is that they don't really have any strategy to stand out other than having a unique brand identity. And by the way, if you don't know the difference between branding and marketing, again, branding is a process of creating a unique identity. So it's all about how your customer or the market perceives you, but marketing is all about raising awareness. So what is this branding trap that I'm talking about? I'm going to give you an example here to try and show you what I mean. So let's say there are two entrepreneurs who want to enter the, energy drink market. Could be any market, but for example, let's say they're going to enter the energy drink market, which is a super competitive market. You have Red Bull, obviously, which is one of the top companies in that space. There's also Monster. There's a bunch of different, brands. The point is there is a lot of competition, a lot of companies with a ton of credibility, like Red Bull, for example. They've been, building their brand for maybe decades now, and they spend a lot of money on it. And when I say Red Bull, most people immediately start thinking about, extreme sports, energy, cool, stunts. All these things are part of how the market perceives Red Bull. And this is how they are able to keep growing, and they have a very dedicated customer base. So for example, let's say entrepreneur number one here wants to go into the energy drink market, compete with Red Bull, Monster, all of the other top energy drinks, and energy drink company number one. So energy drink company number one, all they have is a unique brand, and they want to go into this very competitive space. I don't think they're gonna do very well. And let's say there's another entrepreneur that wants to start another energy drink and compete within the energy drink space. And of course, he's gonna have a unique brand, but he's also gonna have a better offer. Okay, and this is the key here. When you go into any market, if you really want to succeed, you need to have a better offer. And by offer here, I mean just anything you're offering to the market. Could be a product, a service. And if you take a look at any fast growing company, any of the top companies each year, you're going to see that the reason they're successful is they have a better offer. This is why they were able to stand out in a super crowded market and succeed. And the reason why I know for a fact that creating a better offer, aka creating a competitive advantage, is the key to growing your company as fast as possible and succeeding in any competitive market is because I've used this strategy myself. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur. I've generated millions of dollars in sales with my businesses in very competitive markets by creating a better offer. So how can this company right here create a better offer? So let's talk about some of the options or some of the things they can do to actually start gaining market share within the very competitive energy drink space. So how do you create a better offer? Again, you differentiate. Whether it's a product or service or any type of company you have, you need to differentiate. And once you differentiate in a way that adds a lot more value to the entire market or to a certain segment of the market, you'll be able to succeed. And when you have a better offer in your market, you'll immediately see that a lot more people are responding to your marketing and to your ads. A lot more people are converting into purchasing customers. Your retention rate will be higher because people will want to return and get this unique product or service that you're offering, you'll have a lot more organic growth because people will talk about your unique offer or product or service to their friends and family, and it's a compounding effect. And this is how every fast growing successful company does it, right? They go into a market with a better offer, with a competitive advantage that sets them apart from everyone else in the market. Now let's talk about some of the differentiation methods that will allow you to have a better offer in your market. One of the ways to differentiate your offer and to stand out in any market is pricing. You'll always have someone trying to be the cheapest in the market, right? And the key to this obviously is you still need to have a decent quality product or service, but there's no competitive advantage in being second cheapest. Okay, so if you want to go this route, you want to focus on volume, but not necessarily on having great profit margins. You can do this, but again, there's always going to be someone trying to be cheaper, someone that is willing to lose money for a certain amount of time until they gain market share. So it's a very tough thing. Trying to be the cheapest is not easy. There are a ton of other ways that you can have a better offer in your market. You can also try and stand out by being the most expensive, being premium, which will attract a premium customer base. And obviously with that, you're going to have to raise the experience that comes with the product or service that you're offering. We always see that there is a certain segment of the market that is interested in the best of the best products. And we see this with luxury brands, but you also have to deliver and have the best products, the best quality products or services in the market. So yeah, going premium is another way you can differentiate through pricing. Now, another way to differentiate is bundling or bonuses. And I'm going to show you examples in just a bit, but this is where you basically, add things to your core offer, okay? And this could be, adding a physical product, adding a digital product, adding access to a platform, or adding a service to that core offer. And you want to make sure that you're adding things that make sense to your customer and things that actually add value to them. So for example, let's say you're selling this product, right? And this is the massage gun. Everyone knows this product. There's a lot of competition. One of the ways that you can create a better offer is to bundle things like, this tool and this, thing right here. These are physical products. You can also bundle a digital product, an ebook that helps talk about exercises that you can do. Option 3 here, where you add a digital product and a physical product. And when you create a bundle package, it's going to add to your cost of goods, right? But it will also allow you to charge more. Or maybe you have a similar price to everyone else in the market, but you have these two things extra, right? So for a customer, they would probably buy from you, and because you have this extra value that is added, and they're not going to buy from your competition, even if they have been in the market for much longer, for the simple fact that you just have a better offer. Another way to craft, a competitive advantage for your business is to attach a story, a cause, or a brand, a personal brand. Okay, so you see this with influencers all the time. Or you could have a cause where you donate to cancer. Tom's Shoes is a very popular example. You buy one pair of shoes and we're going to donate a pair of shoes to someone in need, right? And that's a very powerful message. There are a lot of people that are willing to buy these shoes for that specific reason and not buy from someone else. Again, here attaching a brand, obviously this is going to sell for anyone who's into the UFC. And we can also see the same thing with the James Bond collab right here. If you're getting value from this, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to support this new channel. And now back to the video. Now, another way to differentiate your products or services and create a better offer in your market would be through function. And I'm going to show you a few examples here. But before that, let me explain what through function means, okay? And this could be through, you create a better offer, which will give you a competitive advantage in your market through enhancing functions of your product or service, adding functions that actually add value to your customer, or solving issues with similar products to the one that you're trying to sell. And this way you'll be able to present your product or service as the better solution. You also need to keep in mind that your marketing, your ads, need to highlight what's better about your product or service. And sometimes you might have to, work with a factory, with a manufacturer to try and make these things happen, right? Not always, but sometimes you might have to do that depending on what you're selling. Or with a programmer or software engineer if you're trying to create a better app, a better platform. And now let me show you some examples here. This right here, Scrub Daddy, one of the best, if not the best selling product that came out of Shark Tank. These holes that can be used to have a better grip on the sponge, and you can also clean your utensils using these holes. And then, he did this nice smiley face design. These simple changes to the function of the product, enhancing certain functions, adding certain functions, made him a ton of money. This is another example here. This is a smaller version of the massage gun. So one of the problems with the massage gun is that it's too big, right? So how do you solve this issue? Solving issues with current similar products. You make it smaller. So this is a product that has a competitive advantage in the market because it does the same thing, but it's smaller, and you can have it in your backpack or your bag and take it wherever you want. So yeah, it's the same thing here. I'm not gonna go through every single example, but I think you get the point, right? Every single one of these products either enhances a certain function, adds functions that are valuable to the customer, or it solves problems within the products themselves. And another way to differentiate would be through customization. This will help you create a better offer in your market, and you can do this for individuals or for entire groups or entire segments of the market. And I can go on and on. There's so many ways to do this, right? The whole point is, if you want to have the best chance of succeeding in any new market, you need to make sure that you have a competitive advantage. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.